my YouTubers. Like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you tap that bell. Hey, it's your girl Miss Moone, and this is Miss Moone Motivates. All right, it's your girl Miss Moone Motivates, and I am here at an amazing, awesome event, phenomenal financial education, and different investment platforms to experience the growth that we are experiencing with our investments. Everybody's up. So I'm just here with a guest here. Please tell us your name and what you thought about the information you heard today.
My name is Tavion Gilliam, and I'm 19 years old, and I'm probably the youngest person here. And I just think that this is an opportunity to change lives. Like, it's to be able to sit at home and to log into something and be able to triple your money or double your money is just a good opportunity. And it's just,
this is about the change of making the money that we should have and should have begun to have in the beginning if our parents would have known about it. But since they didn't, we know now that we can make that change. Generational wealth, we can send it on to our children and our great-grandchildren and grandchildren.
Oh my goodness, it was exciting and very informative, and I'm really excited about what I saw and seeing money work for me, my money work for itself other than me working. That's like the biggest thing I got. So
Our AMG network is really getting ready to have an explosion. And this was our first event that we had here since COVID. So this year was our first event amongst each other outside of the Zooms that we were having. So I'm excited. We had a really great turnout. So I want to hear from Miss Angela Harrell on how she felt the event went and what can we look to see next.
Oh, I'm excited. The event went very well. I mean, I always say, even whether I'm talking to one person or 50 or 500, that we're helping to free families and get people financially free, run for their freedom.
Our Cleveland event was a great turnout. Miss Angela Harrell did a great job. Mr. Al Nunu Terry is in the building. So glad he could make it all the way from Akron, Ohio. We are here in Independence, Ohio at our AMG event. So I just want him to tell us, share with us, you know, just something, maybe a testimony. Okay, maybe we get a testimony out of him and how he felt about today's event.
Today's event was absolutely, thank you, phenomenal. First of all, thank you for allowing me to share my testimony. This has been just a phenomenal event. I joined the AMG network back in 2017 and basically just followed the leadership. The leadership is just phenomenal here. Mr. Mike Jamison is a phenomenal leader, and he has a vision, and it's definitely going to, for the people that take advantage of the services and the timing is going to absolutely explode their incomes. So I'm just very thankful, very humble for where I'm at and being able to help other people.
You have to be at the next event. Like, that's what it's about. From event to the next event and then the next big event. I mean, because that's where like the energy just really gets to boiling under your skin and you just want to hop out your seat, seriously. So the next major event will be that was awesome. I can't wait to see the video. The next big event will be June 26th, which is the weekend of my birthday, my Earth Day. I'm excited. I already got my ticket. So the tickets are $149 for the all-white yacht party. The whole weekend is covered under that $149. You also get food included, and I believe there is an open bar for those who like to indulge in a cocktail or two and drink responsibly, right? Yes. Check me out on the MINDay Motivation Live on Facebook, Instagram, and on my new YouTube channel, 12:15 p.m. Eastern, daily, MINDay through Friday. You will either hear some motivation, inspiration, new information, confirmation, and or education. Miss Moone Motivates is being brought to you by VisionairE and the Gab Media.
The Greatest R&B Legends Music Awards, honoring Cleveland's impact in R&B, featuring Men at Large, Unit Man, One of the Girls, Cats, Smooth Approach, Twice, Kinsman Dash, Cash, Rude Boys, and more. Red Carpet event starts at 5 p.m. Saturday, May 15th. Ceremony starts at 6. All at Cleveland State University, 1899 East 22nd Street. Tickets available at Eventbrite. For VIP tickets, call 216-882-0093. Don't miss the Greatest R&B Legends Music Awards. Be there.
Time for some inspiration. I've tuned into some new passages Alicia Keys has been doing on her YouTube, reading parts of her book, More Myself. I wanted to share the passage you're about to watch, Shifting from Scarcity to Abundance. Her principles, values, and mindset was illustrated in such a relevant context. Here, check it out.
So I've been doing a few of these that I'm calling passages. I've wanted to take pieces of my book, More Myself, and read you and share with you certain passages that stick out to me, and then kind of talk through it and build on it. I love it because, you know, we're all going through different passages in our life, and these passages represent some of my personal passages. So, you know, a little wordplay. I love that whole feeling, and I love that word. That's such a, you know, such a beautiful word. This part of the book is a special moment when I really started to open up to a new way of thinking, and I wanted to share it. Songs in A minor improved my financial picture, but it didn't significantly change how I handled my money. Every ka-ching triggered in me a long-held fear, followed by a question: if all of this suddenly goes away, have I saved enough to be okay? I'd seen how quickly circumstances could shift, as fast as they once had when my mother lost her father and the family's breadwinner. And I was determined not to end up as the penniless bag lady, the former star whose downward spiral left her in dire financial straits. So in the early days of my career, I was very, very careful with cash. And when I did buy something for myself, I never went for flashy. In place of $5,000 designer boots or Bentleys, I opted for white t-shirts and Timbs I could get cheap on 125th Street. I'll never forget the first time I went to Bergdorf Goodman, the luxury department store on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. Erica, my childhood friend who later worked on my team as my day-to-day manager, was with me. Following the album and tour, I just received my first major check. I deposited it and didn't touch it for weeks. You should go shopping, Erica urged me. I reluctantly agreed. I mean, it can't hurt to look, I figured. And maybe it was time for a small indulgence. If you've ever roamed the aisles of Bergdorf's, then you understand how forcefully desire can grab you by the throat. You quickly go from swearing you don't need a single thing to lusting after designer sneakers you hadn't even known existed before the moment you spotted them. Within a half an hour in the store, I picked out a pair of shoes, a leather jacket, a scarf, and a killer belt. When the lady at the counter announced the total, that would be $3,482, she said without blinking. I looked blankly at her. I'm putting all this back, I whispered to Erica as I scooped up the items and left the register. This is ridiculous, I said. I can't pay this much. Come on, Erica pressed. You should do something nice for yourself for once. I stared at her but didn't respond. Do you love these? She asked, picking up the sneakers I just propped back up onto their display stand. I nodded. Well, if you really love them, she went on, you should buy them. It's time to celebrate a little. I ultimately bought 2 of the 5 items, the high-top sneakers and the leather jacket. And for days after the purchase, I was in turmoil. Not just because I'd spent over $1,000, an insane amount in my view, but also because I should have gotten a belt. Months later, when I went back for it, the item had been discontinued. Erica wasn't pushing me to live beyond my means. Rather, she was nudging me toward a different mindset, a mentality that was foreign to me. I'd grown up in a survival mode, clutching tightly to every dollar that came my way. And when you spend from a belief that every cent you earn will be your last, you operate from a place of scarcity, a context that runs counter to the energy of abundance. Money, like all life, is an energy exchange. You give yourself over to whatever you're passionate about, and what comes back to you is energy in the form of monetary compensation. You attract more or less of what you want by how you choose to interact with it, as well as what you believe about yourself. Do you truly feel you deserve what you're asking for? Are you worth it? How you answer impacts what comes your way. What you focus on expands. If you focus on the goodness in your life, you create more of it. And if you live with an open palm rather than a closed fist, you leave room for immeasurable blessings to flow through your hands. It was one of the strongest lessons ever passed on to me in the classroom my life was becoming. So that's kind of long, but I had to give you the whole context or else you wouldn't have understood where I was coming from and where it led me to. But I thought this was interesting, and this is a super deep conversation and something that I personally struggled with for a long time. And this idea of, so no, are you supposed to go out and spend your entire paycheck and you know, like not be smart and not plan and make sure that you're covered and your family's covered? Of course, no. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying some crazy thing like that. But what I did learn at this time was that there is a perspective that you can have, especially as it comes to finances. Because I think a lot of us often have come from very humble beginnings, and we haven't really been taught a lot about finances. We haven't been taught about money management. We haven't been taught about money at all. And in fact, a lot of times, you know, we're figuring it out as we go. And if we do happen to be able to be successful or start to see success, a lot of times we don't even know what to do with that or with our money. And I thought this was really, really a powerful lesson in regards to looking at things from the space of scarcity versus abundance. And that even that small mind shift in your mind, knowing that you are capable, that you are able, that you are deserving, that you are creative, that you do have it inside of you to create what you want to create and for it to go well for you and for you to be able to build a life around it, which so many of us feel like that'll never happen. I'll never be able to make my dreams come true. I'll never be able to become, you know, your parents tell you, you'll never be a doctor, you'll never be a surgeon, you'll never be a successful lawyer. You know, it's hard. You know, so many times we think we can't do it. And so I love this moment where I realized that I could see how, because I come from that place and I looked at things sometimes from this fear that I would never have it again, or finances would not come my way, or if I did get something at one time, it would never come again, that I was blocking my blessings. And so I just wanted to bring that up to us to consider, to contemplate, and to think from a place of abundance, and to think from a place of knowing that you are capable to create whatever it is that you imagine. So what do you think? I mean, it's deep. Some might agree, some might not agree. What do you think? That's my little passage that I wanted to leave in your lap. And you can read about that. Get your Kindle, rock it out, vibe it on your phone. But tell me what you think about that. Sending you an abundance of love.
Be sure to listen to me on the Women's Empowerment and Entrepreneurship Radio Show every MINDay, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern on WNRV1081.com. Or the Nerve DJs app, found on your Google Play Store or your iPhone App Store.